Welcome to Ask Ms. ERP. The topic of this video is how to tackle ERP communications. Hello everyone, Ms. ERP here. This topic is about communications for both project and support ERP lifecycle phases. What I will cover is really a suggested strategy. Obviously, pick and choose what will work best for your company. Probably the most important point is that communication about your ERP or other enterprise application is not just a project activity. You might do things a little bit differently in sustainment, but communication is always important. I will go over a recommended plan for project communication, which can continue to be used once you are live and in sustainment mode. If you have a large implementation or upgrade project, you hopefully have a project OCM, Organizational Change Management person, on your team, mentioned in video number 16 about project roles. If you don't have a dedicated communication person, perhaps I can help you with some guidelines. As with everything, to communicate effectively, you need to first identify your stakeholders. Depending on what functionality you have in your ERP, this could be a lot of people. Figure out how to group them, then decide on what type of communication needs to go out and how often. Sounds easy, right? Well, depending on how large or complex your company is, communication could be complicated, but it is definitely worth the effort. In the absence of information, people make stuff up, which could cause issues. The largest group of stakeholders for any ERP is the end users, who could be everyone. If you have a lot, you could break them up into subgroups by function or geography. At a high level, these folks need a heads up that the project is starting, build some excitement here, provide them regular status updates, and then prep for go live. Make these communications very short, timely, and relevant. Just the what, when, and why. Be sure to have the what's in it for me content to get people's attention. Maybe they're getting a more friendly user face or better functionality. Let's hope so, as you are doing this project for a reason, and all needed material should be in your project charter.
What's in it for me?
The next stakeholder group is the line managers, who will want to know how the project will impact their team, specifically whether they will need more capacity on their teams, even if just for a short time. They also may be interested in what is not changing. Direct supervisors are usually trusted sources for any job-related changes, so leverage that. Tailor these communications to be function-specific for different departments or teams as much as possible. You are trying to build commitment here, whether for a project or an application. A super user community is another way to help get information out, as well as receive input and feedback. Someone needs to own this to be successful. Your project team will need a lot more communication. I recommend that you have a weekly project leads meeting with mandatory attendance, folks to send a delegate if they cannot attend. Minutes should be taken to record decisions and action items, which need to be tracked and managed. If these minutes can be made available to the entire project team, that might engage other interested parties. Those summary updates should still be sent out, especially to the steering committee and project sponsor, who should also be having regular meetings. There will be a need for more frequent meetings and communications as you near go live. A good ERP OCM person or PM can coordinate all of this for you, or you can use my table suggested at the end of this video as a starting point.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Don't forget about your company executive, your sponsor or steering committee chair, should be keeping them in the loop, but don't assume that this is happening. Confirm. These people are going to want to know how the project plan is progressing against budget and how success is being measured. See video number 31 for tips on this, and the same concept applies to when you are in sustainment. You may have other stakeholder groups, such as suppliers, customers, partners, or regulatory bodies, but they will fall under the last group that I will mention, which is any external parties. In the case of an ERP, the most important external stakeholder to have fully engaged is your ERP vendor, who is hopefully participating in at least your governance committees. See video number 14 on project teams, or video number 21 on governance if you would like some more ideas here. Also, if you have any external ERP integrations, which you likely do, at least to banks, they need to be informed of any expectations or impact to them in a timely fashion. Even testing usually takes some time to schedule. You can and should use many different methods of communication. Different people hear and understand information in different ways. Just to list a few ways to communicate, you could have leadership town halls, cascade key messages through the organization via email and department or team meetings. You could use company chat channels or newsletters. Definitely use your intranet, and even old school posters or flyers work too. For really critical events, system alerts might be an idea. I am sure that there are more ways. Use whatever you can. Try to have a common and consistent appearance and tone to build brand and trust. Your goal here is to have everyone believe in and support the project, and as a result become advocates of your ERP application for the long term. There is typically a lot of focus on communication during a project. It is equally important to communicate on a regular basis after you go live. The concepts are all the same about identifying your stakeholder and what needs to be communicated. You could just build a simple table with columns of stakeholder, why are they important, what info needs to be sent, how often, and when. In support mode, typical things to communicate are change outage windows, any patching or upgrade information, and perhaps some high-level service delivery metrics. See video number 32 if you need some ideas on this topic. Also make sure that you have a way to receive feedback regularly and act on it. Then you will get more feedback. Share that table with one or two representative people from each stakeholder group to get their input, and voila, you have a communication strategy. Someone does need to take accountability that the actions in the strategy actually occur by committing the resources. A communication strategy owner might be in your comms or IT department. This person can schedule and coordinate, but they will need all ERP groups to provide content for the strategy to succeed. And don't forget to check it annually to see if the strategy is meeting expectations and adjust accordingly. This concludes the How to Tackle ERP Communications topic. There is a link on askmizerp.com to email me to ask questions or suggest topics for future videos. Or you can just add comments on any YouTube video. Please subscribe to my channel. Thanks, and see you on the next video.